Hopefully, I do not incite a mob with this video. I recently dove into the wide world of streaming boxes like the Apple TV. If you are not already aboard this train, you have to hop on. They are amazing. You get to ditch your sluggish smart TV with its million ads and awful performance. In a previous video, I covered how smart TVs are actually physically incapable of playing your movies at full quality. Streaming boxes can fix all of that, which is awesome. But once I posted that video, my comments were flooded with people saying one thing. Why don't you try the Roku Ultra? Is the Roku Ultra better? Why didn't you review the premium version? Let it be known that I see you and I hear you. Clearly, if there is any one streaming box people already have in their homes, it is the Roku Ultra. I want to see exactly what is so special about this box. For $90, I would imagine it has something good under the hood. So I took everyone's advice and ordered one for the TechVibes office. What I found was not what I expected. I went into this feeling pretty confused. Of the streaming boxes I had tested previously, the Roku was by far my least favorite. The performance was not great, though that made sense for a cheap stick. The main thing I was unimpressed by was the Roku interface. It was full of ads and offered basically no customization or control over the device. That is what I am most interested in seeing on this Roku Ultra. Would the premium model fix the problems I had with the stick? I spent $90 of my own money on this, so I was honestly rooting for it. Right out of the gate, I felt confident because the actual design is super nice. The box itself is pretty much everything you could want. It has Ethernet ports, USB ports, and a clean look that fits well in a living room. That definitely pairs well with the remote. At some point, we decided remote controls should have fewer buttons. That was a great decision. The Roku remote does everything you could ask for. The only extra buttons are a handful of streaming apps. The Ultra version has a permanent backlight and needs to be recharged. I personally find that a little annoying since I have enough devices to recharge already, but it is sort of cool that it does not need standard batteries. But enough of the hardware. What about the software inside? I was excited to see what was better in the premium version. After a quick setup, I was immediately met by a big banner ad in the menu. Then I saw the familiar ad squares in the main menu. And finally, there was the giant unremovable ad taking up a third of the home screen. In all fairness, I do not know what I expected. Brands rarely have different interfaces depending on the price of the product. I was just hoping that with a more premium version, Roku would not subsidize the cost with ads as much. I think I understand why some people like it. It is minimal and stays out of your way once you click an app. But this thing is a nightmare for me. Of all those home screen ads, only one row can be disabled. The rest you are just stuck with on a product that costs nearly $100. That is a huge bummer for me. The Ultra also does not support third-party launchers to get rid of the ads. We are not off to a perfect start, but I was confident the responsiveness would be better. I want to press a button and not wait ages for something to happen. We have all lived under the laggy experience of smart TVs. The Roku stick had that same lag, but the Ultra is much more expensive and bigger, which should mean snappier hardware. While this Roku is not doing so great so far, maybe it will redeem itself. So, how did it fare? The Ultra does not exactly feel lightning fast to use. It is certainly not as sluggish as the stick. There is an improvement for sure. But for $90, this box feels slower than other streaming boxes we tried. Both the budget boxes and older Apple TV models felt much faster when browsing. Going back to this level of slowness is not fun. Now, all of that just boils down to the interface. I can put up with those things if the actual content support and quality is good, so I moved on to usability and video quality. On the usability front, the Roku stick gave me big problems with CEC. That is the feature that lets you control the box with your regular TV remote. Without it, using the stick was a hassle involving swapping remotes constantly. I was hopeful the Ultra would solve this. Nothing beats using one single remote for everything. I went to set up CEC and it seemed to be working. It recognized my TV brand and played a test sound. But when I grabbed my TV remote and started pressing buttons, nothing happened. I ran the setup again and still nothing. Full CEC support is basic nowadays, so I checked online. I found post after post mentioning the same issue. I need your input on this. Do you ever swap your TV to a different input for a console or a player? I could just use the Roku remote to turn on the TV, but what about other devices? I am in the camp that prefers more options, not fewer. Now we move on to the final category, which is video quality. We all want our shows and movies to look their best. Movies and TV shows are made of different components called codecs and containers. Smart TVs are not fluent in a lot of these languages. Even if you have a high-quality media server, it will not matter if your TV converts it to a lower quality version. In previous tests, the Apple TV knew almost every codec. The Roku stick was as confused as a standard smart TV. With the Ultra, I expected big improvements. We tested a few streaming apps to see the HDR support. The Ultra supports HDR, HDR10+, and Dolby Vision. If you have a nice HDR TV, you are getting good video quality here. That is a huge step up. But what about those codecs? I tested a library of max quality media. Things looked positive at first as it played full quality 4K files. But then we got to subtitles. I turn on subtitles for everything. For the first few tests, everything was fine. But the more we tested, the more subtitle formats the Roku Ultra struggled with. Popular formats like PGS or ASS would cause the Ultra to pause and reformat. It would transcode the video down to a lower quality to use the subtitles. The difference is noticeable. It is like going from a Blu-ray to a standard online stream. That beautiful clarity turns into mush. We found many formats it could not play natively. In fact, it was closest in performance to a standard smart TV app. If you only stream through Netflix, this is less of an issue. But after using the device for over a week, I have to say I am disappointed. In every metric I care about, much cheaper boxes outperformed it. They are sleeker and more customizable. I usually find something good about a piece of tech that might appeal to someone else. But with the Roku Ultra, I am failing at that. It feels like a downgrade compared to cheaper products. Even an older Apple TV at the same price has a better interface and app library. If you already own a Roku Ultra, I do not want you to feel like you wasted money. If you are fine with the ads and the interface, then that is great. But if you are in the market for a streaming box at TechVibes, I suggest skipping the Roku lineup. Skip the Roku Ultra entirely. Get a different box or a used Apple TV. Any of those will give you a better experience and higher quality video. The whole point is to get the best quality video possible. Peace out. Outro Play CTA. Like, subscribe, comment.